Hello everybody, my name is Alivelâ, and that was a little bit of a weird lag spike. And I'm making this video. This is not an episode of the Let's Play or anything like that. It's kind of a more serious video, which admittedly I'm not used to making really on this channel or on any channel. Like talking about serious stuff has never really been my style on this channel, or on any channel I've had in the past, or in any coinciding channels I have with this one. But I felt like this was sort of a thing that was important to talk about, and that needed to be shared. And I think out of all my videos, this is probably one of the most important. And for full transparency's sake, I was sort of inspired to make this video by one of my friends. They're a member of Continence S&P, and they also play on Pokestone, Kai. They released a video not too long ago entitled, I Think You Are Loved, or something to that extent. And I watched it, and I don't know, it's not a complex video or anything, but I found the message, I don't know, it was more powerful than I expected it to be, and I figured that it was worth probably sharing sorts of similar stories that they were talking about. So, just to give you, we're talking about depression today, by the way, if you hadn't figured that out already. So just content warning, I suppose, for that and all the sort of bad things that come along with it. So in October, November of 2023, I started. This will just be like a brief description of my personal experience. I started falling into a pattern of depressive tendencies, which you can infer what that might be, even if you've never been depressed or struggled with mental health issues. So it's a lot of laying in your room in the dark, staring up in the ceiling. It's a lot of it's a lot of sitting at your bed, wondering if anybody still loves you, or if anybody ever loved you, or if anybody ever cared. It's a lot of, for me, it was a lot of texting my friends for verification that they still loved me and that they still cared, and similar things like that. And this began in November of 2023, and it kind of escalated throughout November and December. It was in December, I think, mid-December, that I had been texting a friend late at night, and they, for whatever reason, I don't know, they weren't answering my texts immediately, and so I was just texting them a bunch of stuff, and they just weren't reading them. And the sorts of texts that I was sending them were not very good things to be thinking about yourself or to be saying. There were things along the lines of, I don't want to live anymore, and I wish I wasn't here, and just things like that. That you can probably guess all sorts of things that I might have texted during that time. But anyways, I was texting all these things, no response. Eventually, I ended up crying myself to sleep, which was, it sounds kind of dumb now, but like this was what I was living through for for those months, those dark winter months. I don't know, it was just what was going on in my life. So anyway, I end up falling asleep. My friend sees these texts that say that I want to be dead, that I wish I wasn't on this planet, and rightly so, he interprets it as, maybe I've done something bad to myself, maybe I've harmed myself, maybe I've died, like, serious stuff like that. He tries to call me because I'm asleep, I don't answer, he gets panicked. Eventually, miraculously, I woke up just like half an hour. Like, I only fell asleep for half an hour. So, I woke up and I saw these missed calls, and I talked to him, and, yeah, we sort of talked about what had happened and what had been happening over the course of those few months. And the next day, this is a little bit revealing about my age, but I figured I don't have a particularly adult audience, so I think it's fine. The next day, I told him that I was going to go to the student counselor and talk to her about it, and that is exactly what I did the next day, and it was one of the hardest things that I have ever had to do. So, amidst all of this, Christmas time happens. We go on a vacation, and it's also my birthday, so not Christmas is my birthday, but like during that holiday season, my birthday is around there. So, I'm kind of in a weird spot where, like, I'm not doing too well mentally on these sorts of, like, really big days that should normally be big, celebratory, happy, exciting days, but I'm just not, and I haven't told my parents about any of this. My discussion with the school counselor is kind of silent. I don't tell my parents about it just because, I don't know, it's hard to talk about stuff like this. It's taken me a while to get to the point where I can. So that's January, February, March. Things just steadily get worse and worse until I finally end up talking to my parents about it, and it's a very long conversation that we have, but it ends with me getting a therapist, which was ultimately a good thing for me. And there's a lot of other details of the story that I think should stay private just for privacy's sake. But sort of the point that I'm trying to get across with like this really long, rambly, personal sort of anecdote is no matter how deep into that hole you think you are, it's not you think you are, it's you get yourself really deep into that pit sometimes, and I don't know, no matter how deep you get into that pit, there's always someone out there who still really cares and really loves you, even if it's not, maybe it's not directly explicit love, maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's sort of love and care that's sent through text messages, as was in my case, or talking about therapy on long car drives, also in my case. Whatever it may be, I think it is important for everyone to hear that they are loved, and that there are reasons that they should still be alive, and that they are important, and that they matter, and that life is one of the most precious things that we have, and that we can't just do away with it. And I don't know if I'm making any sense here. Believe me, I know thinking like that is hard, especially when you are as depressed as one gets. As depressed as I wasn't even the worst of it. I was pretty bad, but I'm 100% confident that there are others who have had it worse than me. And my heart goes out to you, and I just want you to know that someone, somewhere out there, somebody loves you, somebody cares for you. And it's important that you stick around. And for the sake of ending the story cleanly on like a nice narrative beat, I'm doing much, much, much better now than I was a few months ago. It has gotten so much better for me. A therapist has been very good for me, but also, like, just talking to my friends has been good for me. And also doing the things I love has helped me out, like playing Minecraft and recording these silly little YouTube videos for you all has been sort of a big driving motivator throughout all of this. Throughout the worst of me and the best of me, you guys have stuck around, and even if you didn't know that you were witnessing the worst of me, you were still there for me, and I don't know, I want people to know that there's someone that's still there for you, and I think it matters a lot, and I think it's important to know that. And at this point, I'm kind of just rambling on, so I'll sit down and shut up and get to work on my next actual video. But I thought this was an important thing to make, just because you don't see a lot of especially like younger people. You know that it's sort of a stereotype that they're all kind of dealing with these issues, but like you don't hear, I don't know, personal stories about it all too often. At least I had never heard any stories like that before I fell into my sort of bout with depression. So I think it's important to tell the stories and sort of show to people that you're not alone. But I think that's all I have to say in this one. There's obviously more to the story, there always is. But I think I've gotten the message I wanted to get across, and I think we should probably end it here. So, thanks for watching, everybody. Remember, you're loved, somebody loves you, don't give up, and I'll see you next time.